Proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 8th day of June, 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes from generation to generation. Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Our condolences go out to the family of the individual who lost their life in the water in the 7 Mile Beach vicinity over the weekend as well. That was reported by the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. They have not yet published the name of the individual, but we want to extend to whichever family out there or is affected by this unfortunate incident. We want to extend our condolences to them as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. And with that, give a big shout out to our colleague here at Radio Cayman, Mr. Joel Wilson as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing your radio station, Radio Cayman, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I need not remind you that For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. During that period, we have our phone lines that are open. If 9 times out of 10, you will hear a voice answering that phone. And of course, that voice is the unmistakable radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. Those numbers that you can call us on, we have a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. So if you're calling from a Flow number, that number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. Again, to remind you that the birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes from generation to generation. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic. Let's look at the birthday greetings. We see here Miss Aldine has sent in, and so she's sending birthday shout-outs to Patricia Haylock and Tyler Coe. They celebrated birthdays yesterday. Also, a happy birthday to Noreen Dixon and Heather Gleason as they celebrate their birthday today. So yesterday, Patricia Haylock and Tyler Coe. Today, Noreen Dixon and Heather Gleason. And those birthday shout-outs coming from Aldine. I also want to extend belated birthday greetings to Mr. R.C. De La Cruz, who celebrated his birthday 3 days ago. Those of you who are in the cycling fraternity will know that R.C. is a bike mechanic. He's a bike mechanic over at Jerome's bike shop as well. So I want to give R.C. a happy belated birthday shout out. Let's look at the other birthdays. We see that tomorrow, Paul and Emily Tibbetts celebrating tomorrow. Today, Delrose Crawford celebrating a birthday, as well as Elise Hyde. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Elsa Hyde, celebrating a birthday today as well. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. I will also take this opportunity to send out a congratulatory. I'm going to take this opportunity to send out a congratulatory message to our own Miss April Cummings, who has been appointed as our new deputy director right here at Radio Cayman. You heard it right here, folks. Miss April Cummings has been appointed as our new deputy director. Folks, this marks an important step in strengthening our leadership capacity and supporting the continued growth of our operations here at Radio Cayman. In the interim, she will still have direct oversight of the news section as well, which of course, she has oversight and control of at this point in time. Also, if you're not aware, let's give you a little history of Miss April Cummings as well in terms of her tenure here at Radio Cayman. She joined Radio Cayman. Before she joined Radio Cayman, she was the general manager of broadcast division of Cayman 27 TV before it was sold. Of course, while in that position, she was responsible for the rebranding of the station and the growth of its digital platforms. Management here and staff here at Radio Cayman, we look forward to her experience and perspective as we move forward. As her focus has been used in the past. She will, of course, continue in that role, like I said, in the interim. And all of us here at Radio Cayman are extremely proud of Miss April Cummings' achievements and looking forward to continuing to work with her, like I said, as we move forward here at Radio Cayman. So we want to extend congratulations to her. And of course, any of you who may want to extend congratulations, please feel free to call in and do so, or send us a message right here on our WhatsApp number 925-3261. Congratulations again, folks, to Miss April Cummings being appointed as the new deputy director right here at Radio Cayman. So, folks, let's look at some of the headlines, the news in our newspapers. This one I thought was extremely important because it's coming from two sources, and it's about social media and our children. So we see, for instance, in our Caymanian Compass news, it talks about tougher laws planned to fight rising sex crimes against children. That's amongst other stories and headlines on Cayman Compass. Cayman looks at liquefied natural gas for stopgap energy solution. Also in their news site, Little Cayman water supply challenges drove rate increases. That should be interesting one to read. Also, Jubilate marks 10 years of transforming young lives through music, and the sad story yesterday of body being recovered off 7 Mile Beach, believed to be missing jet skier. Then we see over in BBC News in the UK, Keir Starmer, who is of course the Prime Minister, tells Apple and Google to ban nude images of children on children's phones. So again, we see these challenges that our children are facing as a result of social media, their continued exposure to it, and of course, countries taking steps to address those issues. Some may argue and say, well, it's a little bit late to start that. It's never too late. Of course, could have started earlier as well. We see the same thing happening with artificial intelligence and countries' efforts to try to control it, to put guardrails in place, legislative guardrails in place to control it. But again, argument is maybe that should have been done a long time ago. Of course, we're hearing more about artificial intelligence now, but it has been around for years and years as well. It's just that it's improving, it's getting better and better. We're hearing about artificial intelligence now being able to discover cures for certain diseases and illnesses that would have taken years or decades to discover as well. So it can be used for good, it can be used for bad as well. So we see governments, again, trying to address the whole issue of social media and children. But folks, a lot of this starts at home as well. It starts when you start to give your child that device simply to placate them, to keep them, from getting irritated, to get them to settle down while you're trying to do something else. Just have to be careful how we use that as well. And of course, we see here in the Cayman Islands, again, our efforts to do so. Folks, we need to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice-cold Coca-Cola was.
The part is, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice-cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners has written in and said, may I please ask you to wish Miss Cummings a heartfelt congratulations from the Archer family on her well-deserved recognition. I would say more than recognition, promotion, her well-deserved promotion as Deputy Director as well. And I have in the studio here with me former Director of Radio Cayman, Mr. Loxley Banks, as well. He's Radio Cayman's institutional knowledge. Mr. Banks, good morning, sir. Welcome on the show.
Morning, no see you morning.
I know this was quick. Your booking agent, I couldn't get in contact with them, so I had to wait until you came into the studio.
You waited until I poked my nose in the studio.
So tell us about, and I know you want to publicly extend congratulations.
Yeah, I want
April as well.
Extend, congratulations 3 times over to April. Maybe not many people really realize she got her start right here at Radio Cayman.
Oh, well, tell us about it.
Yeah, well, she was still in high school out here, and she worked here, I would believe, probably over a period of 3 years before she went off to college. And, of course, she went to one of the best broadcast training facilities at the time. I think it was Emerson College in, I believe, up in New England, around the New England states.
Okay.
And she, of course, I never saw any of her transcripts, but I'm sure she aced all of the training academics that she went through up there, and she kind of kept in contact just a little bit. And many years ago, I was out in the San Francisco area, and I didn't really know where she was at, and I was sitting in a hotel having breakfast, and she at that time was doing an early morning program, sort of variety type, news type program on one of the big stations in San Francisco. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this image pops up on the big television screen and that they had in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Julian, my wife at the time, I said, "Is that April?" She said, "Yeah, that's April. That's April." Well, anyway, you know, she was the morning host in San Francisco, one of the big market stations in that area. I guess that was probably in the mid '80s, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And and I guess she came back home, and I think in your introduction or little narrative before, she went to work there with. I guess at that time with CITN, or
yes.
maybe she even go back to as far as the what before CITN it was Desmond Seals, his operation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And she's come out, and then she came back into at Radio Cayman, I guess probably 3 or 4 years ago, and congratulations again, April, and of course we're gonna look for great works from you to keep the process moving.
Yep. So you spoke of Emerson College, a private university in Boston, Massachusetts, primarily focused on the arts, communication, and liberal arts, famous for its world-renowned programs in film, journalism, and performing arts. College also operates campuses in Los Angeles, the Netherlands, and a sister college in the United Kingdom. So, you know, like you said, she went, to one of the premier schools when it comes to communications, as well. So she knew exactly what she wanted to do, and
she actually grew up in the profession because, as you recall, her father, she was connected with International College of the Cayman Islands.
Dr. Hugh Cummings?
Yeah. And they established a little, I think it was a 50-watt radio station at the college, probably maybe 6-7 months before Radio Cayman came on the air. So, and she had, worked around with that, and it was a sort of training facility. But so she's been in the business from, I guess, what was the term the old people say? She could open her eyes.
Okay, so we see here someone else, a person who's written, "Morning OC, please send out congratulations to April from Alex and Ingrid. We are extremely proud of her." And the heart emoji accompanies that as well. So, Mr. Banks, when you started as director here at Radio Cayman, you would have taken over from Roy Dunlop. And can you talk about the transition over the years? Because this Radio Cayman, like several other government departments, have been able, keep the leadership, the face of Cayman, being the leadership at Radio Cayman after you took over from Mr. Dunlop. How important is that? And I know it's extremely important to our listener. I see you looking at the clock. You probably say you're going to take me half a day to talk about that.
Yeah.
But
well, in a little brief, Radio Cayman, even at the foundational level, and this goes back to the early 70s, with Captain Eldon Colonel, who was his portfolio, he was a minister, equivalent at the time. What did they call him? Whatever. Anyway,
communications and works, I believe.
Yeah, he was communications and works, the minister of communications and works, and
was it Captain Eldon or Charles or Captain Charles?
No, Captain Eldon.
Captain Eldon, okay.
But later on, Captain Charles.
Yes.
Yeah. But this goes back to the mid 60s, and and in our discussions as to what a Radio Cayman or a Cayman Islands radio station should look like, one of the things that even him, Mr. McCoy, who was very active in the whole development, and Mr. Johnson, and even Mr. Desmond. The one thing that they kind of said to me all the time says, now, you know, we don't want to have a station that's going to, I use the word mirror, but I mean be the same as a BBC, even though BBC, you know, well respected, we respected it, but they wanted Radio Cayman to have its own, you know, model or whatever. So, and actually with Mr. Dunlop being the first, you know, he was a BBC man, and you know, and he tried to straddle the line, and I never forget at the beginning his model of how the programming should run. We clashed. I said, you know, Cayman, we can get kicked off the island if we go that route. For instance, and I remember in the midday section, more or less, he wanted programming to be 15 minutes of this and 15 minutes of that and 15 minutes of this and this. I said, no. And I had previously, probably 8-10 years before that, submitted a sort of model of what I thought the programming should look like. So we had little clashes, and we ironed it out. And, you know, we came on with the PM show, which is still going, and we had the thing in the early morning called Morning Melodies, which is now I think they've changed to Fusion. You know,
RC Fusion.
Yeah, over the years it you know, sort of kept up with trends, I guess, but still trying to keep that Caymanian, you know, cultural part within the scope of what the programming should be. And it's gone along, I'd say, fairly well. I would say this not as prevalent, I think, as I sitting here would have liked it to be, but it's done a fairly good job. And you know, we're always, you hear it on the talk shows all day. We're losing. We don't know where we're going. Our culture is gone, and this is the one avenue that can keep it floating up on top. You know, what we are and where we come from, what we have been, and what we really want to be.
Yeah. So you feel even with the progress that is being, you know, made in terms of the technology that is being used as social media and everything, that Radio Cayman can still retain some of that element of its structure and its programming that initially attracted people to that, because we have a generational shift here in Cayman, but there are still those who listen to radio and radio only.
And I call it CI sensitive. You got to keep it in the CI sensitive pathway going forward, because that's who we are. That's what we are. And what does people come here to see? They don't come here to see. You know, they come here to enjoy the Caymanian,
Caymanian
cuisine and Caymanian culture too. And you know, this is a great avenue to really perpetuate that all throughout the years.
Okay. Well, Mr. Banks, next time I'll get in touch with your agent a little bit earlier to give you advance, to make sure that book is there.
Maybe when I come in here early in the morning, I'll restrict myself. Don't
put your head in the door, right? But thank you very much. And again, congratulations to Miss April Cummins. With that, folks, we're going to go to our 8 o'clock news. Don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news, and the phone lines will be open for you. So please stay tuned.
For today's biggest news,
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. If you've got a small boat, you may want to keep it docked today. National Weather Service forecaster Ben Harding tells Radio Cayman there is a small craft advisory in effect this morning.
An increase in winds are expected through the next 24 hours, bringing deteriorating marine conditions as a result, with a small craft advisory taking effect this morning. A small craft advisory and alert means that small craft should exercise caution over open waters. Within the reef and sheltered areas, conditions may be generally less severe, but operators should continue to exercise discretion as locally choppy conditions may still develop.
Mr. Harding says winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots this morning, which means your winds will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. The wind action picks up overnight with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet, so the small craft advisory is expected to be upgraded to an alert overnight. Make sure to keep it locked to Radio Cayman as we bring you the latest official weather information. A series of approvals from the Development and Control Board, the body that considers planning projects in the Sister Islands. At the February 23rd meeting, the DCB approved the Health Services Authority's application for a chemotherapy and dialysis outpatient clinic on Dennis Foster Road in Cayman Brac next to Faith Hospital. On March 9th, they approved Cayman Development Group's application for a 54-lot subdivision on Sam McCoy's Drive in Little Cayman. The DCB acknowledged concerns about invasive species from the Department of Environment, but stated that without specific evidence of significant risk, this was merely a, quote, theoretical consideration. Finally, at their April 20th meeting, they greenlit an application for partial clearing of land on Guy Banks Road in Little Cayman, with a condition that no land clearing occur between May 1st and September 30th without express consent from the DOE to protect Sister Islands rock iguana and their nests. A wanted man is behind bars. On June 2nd, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service issued an alert for a 47-year-old Georgetown man who was wanted in connection for breach of bail and for tampering with an electronic monitor in relation to multiple burglary incidents. The police now say David Cranston was arrested on Thursday. And in other news, the National Gallery is shining the spotlight on the next generation of local artists with a new exhibition. Here's CIGTV's Leanna Jarvis.
Next Wave, Emerging Voices in Cayman Art, features works by young creatives aged 16 to 20, spanning painting, photography, sculpture, digital art, fashion, and more. The exhibition, presented in collaboration with Cayman Art Week, is on display at the Dart Auditorium Community Gallery through June 12th. Admission is free. The gallery is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. Iran's military says it's halting military operations against Israel after the first direct hostilities between the two sides in 2 months. It said it had delivered what it called a painful response to Israel, warning it against further attacks, including in southern Lebanon. European Union leaders have congratulated Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan on his party's clear victory in Sunday's parliamentary election. Russia has criticised what it says was Western interference in the poll, which saw Mr. Pashinyan take on a Russia-based businessman. French police have taken the singer and actor Patrick Bruel into custody for questioning as part of an investigation into allegations of rape. Prosecutors say 13 women have made accusations against the star, who says he'll prove his innocence. An earthquake in the southern Philippines is now known to have killed more than 30 people. The magnitude 7.8 quake triggered tsunami warnings in several countries in the region. Peru's presidential election runoff is still too close to call. With just over 90% of votes counted, there's still less than 1% between the right-wing candidate Keiko Fujimori and her left-wing rival Roberto Sanchez. Ukraine's military chief says his forces have recaptured more than 600 square kilometres of Russian-held territory this year. The claim follows analysis suggesting Russia lost more territory than it gained in April for the first time in 2 years. Amnesty International says Cambodia's high-profile crackdown on major scam centres has failed to dismantle more than 70% of them. Amnesty says many interventions were ineffective, with apparent collusion between police and gangs. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees. Relative humidity is 73%. The barometric pressure is 29.98 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east-southeast at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate elevated moisture lingering across the central and western Caribbean will continue to become enhanced throughout today as a tropical wave across western Jamaica slowly begins to drift across the Cayman area this afternoon. An increase in winds also expected throughout the next 24 hours as the pressure gradient over the region continues to strengthen, bringing deteriorating marine conditions as a result, with a small craft advisory in effect this morning. Satellite imagery indicate a few low to mid-level clouds over the Cayman Islands moving westerly. Forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunder later this afternoon, and showers will be locally heavy at times. Temperatures today will be in the upper 80s with a heat index near 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tonight, cloudy skies with scattered showers and isolated thunder, and showers will be locally heavy at times, and temperatures falling to the mid to upper 70s. Winds will be southeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet, becoming rough tonight with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet, and the small craft advisory will be upgraded to an alert tonight. Low tide will be this morning at 10:18, high tide this afternoon at 4:55, with a low tide again tonight at 10:37. The sun will set this evening at a minute after 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:47. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through early Wednesday as an associated mid-level trough across the central Caribbean slowly drifts into the Central America after, and supporting a continued increase in low to mid-level moisture over the western Caribbean, allowing for periods of scattered showers and some thunder at times. A general improvement in conditions is expected by Wednesday, with winds and seas also expected to begin easing as a result of a weakening pressure gradient. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere, until I attempted that switch kick double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
calling Caymanians. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is hiring local recruits. Are you interested in serving your community on the front line? Apply now to join our ranks in service to the Cayman Islands. As a police officer, you make a difference. Be a part of a team and experience a job where no two shifts are the same. The deadline for applications is Sunday, June 14th at midnight. Visit rcips.ky to apply now and start your journey with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from the inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
Are you ready for hurricane season? Maybe it's time to invest in your own RAM water tank. RAM water tanks boast superior strength, made to withstand harsh conditions and impact resistance. Mobile truck tanks, 225 gallons in white, green, and blue, and 600-gallon water tanks. Buy two, get the third 50% off. Order your RAM water tank today. Call 925-3822. RAM water tanks, built to last a lifetime. On sale now until June 30th or while supplies last.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check in with traffic, see what's happening on our roads. Further up on Shamrock Road, traffic is flowing at a moderate pace. Further down, a little different story, a little steadier traffic as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway. And coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic. Traffic off the Esley Tibbetts Highway is steady. And continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area, moving at a moderate pace. And traffic coming off of the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way is moving at a moderate pace. Cool Road, steady but flowing. Huldah Avenue, steady traffic. Turn our attention to downtown Georgetown on Edward Street, flowing moderately, as well as into Georgetown on Shedden Road. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, be safe out there. Have a good morning.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
And Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, still a Cayman classic.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. Phone lines are open if you want to call in. You want to call in and wish Miss April or congratulate her on her promotion as the Deputy Director here at Radio Cayman. If you want to give someone a birthday shout out or any other momentous occasion coming along, we know graduations will be coming along soon as well. So please feel free, if you want to engage with us right here on For the Record this morning, please feel free to do so. Please don't wait until 9:45 when we're ready to go off the show. And then, we have everyone queued up, 3 and 4 callers queued up, and less than 15 minutes to go in the show. This is the time that you may want to call in. You'll probably get more airtime at this point. So I just encourage you to do so. If not, we have lots to talk about. I have spoken earlier about our local news and some of the headlines there as well. And I think this one is extremely important because we hear so much talk about it. And Mr. James Whitaker has written an article in today's Cayman Compass about tougher laws being planned to fight rising crimes against children. And it starts off by pointing out that tougher sentences for sex offenders are on the way amid a painfully upsetting rise in crimes against children. So we're seeing a rise in crimes against children here in the Cayman Islands. So a new public safeguarding bill, which was approved by Cabinet, it aims to overhaul sexual offense laws and update legislation to counter new threats through social media and artificial intelligence. Reports of threats to children, they have doubled in the last 3 years. Something which the Minister for Social Development, Honorable Isaac Rankin, has described as, and I quote, a painfully upsetting trend in the wrong direction. Article points out that referrals to the multi-agency safeguarding hub, known by the acronyms MASH, increased from 1,431 in 2022 to 2,773 last year. That, folks, is almost 100% increase, almost close to 100% increase. Says that sexual offenses recorded by police also jumped 20% in 2025 to 125 reported crimes, with children accounting for more than half of all victims. So, speaking in Parliament last year, Minister Rankin said that Cabinet had been stunned by the data and extent of crimes against children. That was during a recent presentation. Several times over the last 5 years, he said the number of sexual offenses recorded by police was greater than both robberies and firearms offenses combined. Ooh. He's quoted as saying, "We cannot let our children continue to experience such crimes." Article goes on to point out that police and prosecutors believe the reform is needed to bring legislation into the 21st century and ensure the punishment properly fits the crime for sex offenders. Some elements of the penal code have not been updated for decades, leaving archaic statutes on the books. I'm going to read that part again because this is extremely important. It says that some elements of the penal code have not been updated for decades, leaving archaic statutes on the books. I'm going to ask the rhetorical question: who is responsible for monitoring these pieces of legislation to ensure that they address our current requirements and our current circumstances as well? Who is responsible for that? Someone should be monitoring. I don't remember when the children's law was introduced, was implemented. I'll do a little research on that to see. But again, we know that when the children's law was introduced, that was, again, a step forward in addressing issues. But this is concerning, to have to admit that elements of our penal code have not been updated for decades, and as a result of that, leaves archaic statutes on the books. Someone has to take responsibility for that. Someone has to own that as well. The article goes on to say that one extreme example is the requirement to prove consent was not given in cases of child rape. If you watch television and some of these shows, we know that in certain cases, even adults can't consent. For instance, if they're in a medical or physical state that renders them incapable of giving, consent to sexual activity, that even adults in those instances legally can't consent. So why is it that we still have on our books the requirement to prove consent when it is a child who is certainly under the age of consent? So that's an example that is given there. But where are our lawyers? Where, are the people who work with these particular laws, that they're not bringing them to the attention of our lawmakers as well? The article goes on to say that Rankin highlighted specific concerns for girls in care homes. And folks, pause there again and interject. That is nothing new. That is nothing new in relation to issues with girls in care homes. The minister referenced more than 200 incidents where young girls had absconded from care in the past year, saying they were at increased threat of exploitation. And one of the things that I have noticed with that is when the holiday period comes, especially those long holiday weekends, that is when you see in the Royal Cayman Islands Police bulletins being posted about children being missing as well. And my question, again, rhetorical question, is while the focus may be on locating those children, what is the follow-up? What has been done after that to determine why they may have absconded and getting into it? I'm told that we have several callers, so we're going to go straight to the phone lines and start with our first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How art thou?
I'm good. I wasn't sure I was the first caller.
Okay. Sorry about that.
I was waiting. I paused to see if it was somebody ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. O.C., I'm talking about changes of laws. Do you know that the slave law were never amended or never left the books until Mr. McKeever, the Honorable McKeever Bush, came into power.
Wow.
So you know, the only time that things are changed when it's convenient for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's the case. But I got a call from a friend of mine who's stuck in traffic, and he normally don't come in until 9:30.
Okay.
But now he took up opportunity to come in earlier, and he are asking me what is the problem, whether there's something happening. I say no, because of the time you're traveling. That is the Cayman kind that we are now offering. that is the way of life in paradise. So I'm not sure if it's still paradise, but that is the way, the direction we have gone.
Mm-hmm.
And again, OC, I noticed that we're catering more to cars. Like I mentioned that before about the cars. We tear down a historic, what do you call it, like a historic site, a building, a dwelling in the middle of town. Remember back in the day, you know, you had a lot of residential activity in the middle of town. That was part of the town. So we just tore down a historic building. I guess it's historic to the point where the National Trust trying to preserve it by moving it, keep it from being knocked down, and only to replace it with a parking lot, with a electronic gate parking lot. Not sure who that parking lot would be serving, but it'll be serving cars.
I think is that part of the one GT project you're talking about, Miss Louise Llewellyn's or Louise Anderson's house? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, house. And I'm quite sure they paid a hefty dollar or see for that piece of property, and it was properly. It's very well refurbished. The grounds itself refurbished, but only OC for the purpose of cars. To be parked.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Here's a place that house civilized bunch of people. I guess a lot of people visited her back in the day. The Ravanda right there in town. Once people came from out of the districts,
and even from the sister islands as well. That's
right.
There.
They would end up at some other house like that. Like I remember hearing stories about your mother's house. Also, right there in town, where the East End people would always venture to go over there if they need a little conversation or freshen up or whatever. So here we are losing all our heritage just for the purpose of cars and the likes. So, see, how did we get to the point where we are? Where is the strong-minded generational Caymanians politician, I would say, because they're the one who mostly making the decision now. Back in the day, our politician could stand up. They were so bold to say that we don't want nobody coming here with the hair plait up. We don't want no hippie
yeah.
No white boys coming here with no hippie. They didn't care. They say, listen, we're not going independent. We breaking away from Jamaica. We're not doing that. This is how we want it done. We got other people came along with ground transportation ideas, right? They were strong-minded people.
But you know why, right? There are more competing interests in the Cayman Islands these days than the days when we had it. The competing interest in those days was amongst Caymanians. Now the competing interest environment has expanded. The community has expanded beyond that. There are so many competing interests now here in Cayman.
Most of the financial power now is not in the hands of Caymanians, but we still hold the political power. So if we are allowing our island to go in this direction and we still have the political power, what will happen when we lose that?
Yep.
Because that, if you notice, that is on the horizon too.
Well, it could happen right under our nose. It could happen to the fact that we're losing it and we don't even realize that we're losing it because, we're under the assumption that we still have power, the illusion that we still have power when we really don't. Which is why I believe that this whole, idea that power comes from the ballot box, power is at the ballot box, is not necessarily true in this day and age.
Well, what comes after the election in the conference rooms?
Yep.
Yeah. See, we were to a point back in the day, see, where even the child, the rehabilitation of a child who had done something wrong was in the hands of not just a judge, but somebody within the community, that the people that we call the JPs, they would be at court, and when the kid come and they would say, "Oh yeah, you're for so and so, I got," and they know how to deal with it,
Yeah.
But now we are being rehabilitated by people who don't even know our history, knows nothing about us, and the first thing is to send them away for one little what my good friend Elvis talks about, one little split for ganja, and that stays with them forever.
Yep.
Forever, OC.
Got to go to a commercial break. Got to go.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, take care, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to our next caller, WhatsApp caller. And then we have another caller on the regular line as well. We're going to take both of them. WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Hey, morning, Rambo. How are you?
Good health strength, blessing. The showers and rain,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First of all, there's a couple of things. Right, just give me 3-4 minutes. My style, brother, my flow.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it came out. First of all, every generation gap is 25 years. Right, that's quarter of a centurion. And big up to really came on. The 50 years, that's 5 decades. I really came on. 8 years shy of my birth here, when they conquered land here the day before. So see, you see stereotype, how you look, your appearance, you get prejudged. Perilous. Simple. In the state of Florida, right, and then homicide 187, if you find guilty, execution. And recently, a couple months ago, in the defilement, pedophile underage, death penalty. Yeah. And Mr. OC, last Monday, the 1st of June, we don't have the season. We all prepare for it, ready for the impact. In the time being now, like I say, over the years, we're going to be calling you, in the inquest of independence. So basically, we're not ready, but it's not available. Right? Okay. So see, this is my punchline now, this is my drive now. This is based on my observations, empirically, last year election, 74% turnout, right? 18,500 odd ballots were casted. Right? The high, the narrative, straight prediction in my eyes now. Right? I don't forecast that, right? With the national lottery in decriminalization approved. Right? Illustrating self-interest, advocacy, right? Proponents, which voters showed up directly to shape the policy outcomes. Obviously, who's better facility rejected. Right? 2 weeks ago, Mr. OC, sorry, my man, Vice Cartel touchdown on our shores now. Right? There was a prurient interest of obscenity and wholesomeness, degradation, etc. I know Mr. OC, when that man get the green light to come here, and Uncle Elvis, before last Friday, he tell you, you'd be surprised or astonished who's showing up. But, how it is. If we contemporary music, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And Mr. OC, the line and energy, right? The caliber demographic, the audience, came through that now. Okay? Right now, Mr. OC with the back burner, with the law firm commission. I called Mr. Glidden, I think 2 weeks ago. Right? And I was very instinct with it. Right? Mr. OC, the herbs to be resolved and executed through legal status. Right? Cultural perception. Right? We've been regional. Right? We're in the Scandinavian, Norway or Sweden, in the region. Right? Clearly set and resolve capitalization, actively implement and normalize with OC. And came out now with OC. The competent or false dilemma is a fake binary pretending. Right? For pretending. Right? Only two choices exist when multiple solutions or middle ground options actually exist. You see? It is not an insurmountable task or obstacle. Impossible to overcome intangible, onshore challenges. Okay? Which will be successful. Right? There's a tepid support, half-hearted support, doubtful hesitancy and reluctance. Barely unwilling to fully commit. Reverse psychology, a certain relying resistance was OC, rejecting what suggested on last year referendum. Right? I hear the who in charge of the commission on came on 27. Sorry about DART program came on campus. He seen like okay, hurdles this and that. It's simple OC. It's simple. Jamaica, X amount of commands from us on Eastern. Use a template as a practice, whatever. Get a move on. We need touch base with independence. There are a lot of resort. It's a musical chairs in UK with prime ministers, and national vote, essential national vote. You understand? So Mr. OC, we came on this. We are gradually at the attrition of we are drop out, we are pass away, deceased, and the ratio is very low. So really came on it.
Okay. Rambo, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Our next caller is on the landline, Susan. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Mr. OC.
Morning. How are you?
Morning, Mario. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Happy Monday to you and all the listeners. Radio Cayman. Beautiful day in the Cayman Islands. Just want to, first of all, say congratulations to April Cummings on becoming the new Deputy Director of Broadcasting, I think the title is. So she comes from a long line of media family. and has a lot of competence. I want to congratulate her on that. Just two quick comments I want to make.
Sure.
This morning. One is in relation to the concert that was held recently, the Out of This World one that held, I think, 2 weekends ago, and I've been hearing, and I don't know, I don't have the facts, but that it was a pretty large donation or contribution made by the Cayman Islands government, i.e., the taxpayers, towards that event. I heard a figure of from 25,000 to 250,000. I'm not sure which number is correct, but I heard it was a donation anyway. And I just wanted to know if you know anything about that and whether, you had an opinion on it. I believe that it was wrong, and I believe that money, if it was paid, even if it's 25,000, would have gone towards so many other worthy causes, such as, for example, help to offset the cost of children's and youth camp in the summer coming up here. Many young people may be able to afford to go to a camp because of family income or whatever, but all that could have gone towards that. So I'll leave that thought.
Well, let's address that one before we go on to the other one. So when the Premier was in the studio here with me, I raised it with him. I pointed out that in the British Virgin Islands, it was reported that the government had given something like $200,000 towards the cartel performance over there. And the Premier pointed out that it was nowhere near that amount here in Cayman, either the Premier or Minister Rankin, but they when they were here. Also, it was pointed out that it wasn't only the Vibe cartel performance. There were other performers there as well. So whatever government's contribution, financial contribution to it wasn't directly towards cartel as well. So those are the two things that I'm familiar. And I would also point out, and these are my personal views in relation to, if it was $25,000, $25,000 is $25,000, depending on who you're talking to, or who you're talking about. But at the same time, it's a small amount when we consider, all of the other government contributions and all of the government spending. I don't believe that it in any way would affect the government's ability to provide assistance to summer camps or anything else. My view.
Every cent counts. But what I would say to that is that, why was it necessary? I mean, first of all, I don't believe there was any local bands or anything involved in that concert. So that's another thing, that whether if they'd given some money and it was help to help support the local bands who were performing also on that concert, would have been not too bad, perhaps. But I don't think there's any local bands performing there. And
can't say because I didn't attend.
Yeah, me either. And secondly, if you had 11,000 people, as you said on the news from last week, 11,000 people attending, and I understand that the lowest cost ticket was $200 per person. Why would you need to involve a government subsidy or government contribution under that kind of financial model? No, I don't know.
That's a valid question, yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. One other point I want to raise is cost of living, and in particular, rental costs. If we don't get a handle on cost of living, I think we're going to really get on our knees very soon, because rental costs going, just going skyrocketing, and I know that there was a bill passed. I think it was in Honorable Kurt Tippett's leader of government business, called the Landlords and Tenants or the Tenants Bill or something that was passed. I don't know if that was brought into force or not, but if it has been, I wonder if it's being enforced, because I know somebody told me this weekend that their monthly rent, they've been given notice that was increasing by $500 per month, $500 CI per month, an increase in rent. The same place, no changes, no enhancement, and I think it's really price gouging. And I think that somebody, whether it's the Ministry of Commerce or whoever is in charge of housing or whatever, to look at this, because not only is price gouging going around generally, but in rental costs, we're having situations where Caymanians, the children can't afford rent. People in NAU, they're being charged more because the excuse is that government doesn't pay on time, so they got charged more to be able to offset. And then some private sector landlords are using that price to put their price up to. So it's really like a perfect storm. And I just want to say that we need to look at it, and it's a serious matter. I'll leave you with those two.
I'll just say that I believe after Hurricane Ivan, something may have been put in place in relation to tenancy, and of course recently the legislation is being reviewed as well. But do you have any concept of what do you put in place to control rental? In terms of we're in a capitalist society where we want government to keep its hands off of our affairs, and any suggestions that you may have in terms of how do you address it? I have to go to a commercial break, but if you don't mind, if you could hang in there until we take the commercial break, and I can probably get your views on that.
Okay, I'll try. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The world's game is here. FIFA World Cup 2026 is now, and Futbolista World has you covered. Literally. Get your authentic country jerseys, flags, and memorabilia, and your special Watching Live from the Cayman Islands World Cup jersey for just $55. Because it's more than a jersey. It's your front row seat to the World Cup. Ready to play? Ready to win. Stop by Futbolista World, located next to Baytown Plaza opposite the Wharf Restaurant, or shop online at futbolistaworld.com. Planning an office watch party? Futbolista World can deliver your colors straight to your office. Visit futbolistaworld.com or call 916-3668. Futbolista World. All authentic. All World Cup.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going back to our caller, Mr. Mario Ebanks. So, Mr. Ebanks, we know, for instance, like in New York City, they have something called rent control apartments that still exist. Those are that's under legacy legislation that was in place. So once you're living in a rent controlled apartment, then it limits the increases that landlord can make in those instances. Like I say, that's legislation that goes way back. In terms of Cayman's the out of control rents that are taking place, and of course they're all responses to market forces as well. And any ideas that you would proffer in relation to how we address the issue?
No, I am also a capitalist, as you know, but I believe that uncontrolled capitalism can sometimes be as chaotic as other systems.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I also understand that when you talk about price controls, what follows that is normally wage controls as well. So wage and price controls go hand in hand. So we have to be careful with that whole concept of controls. However, we got to come back to some reasonable, sensible solution to this. And so I don't have any specifics, but I believe that something that we're talking about, we have some kind of board that regulates rents, and that some kind of, you have to have an association. If you're a landlord, you have to be in an association of landlords, and then that you have certain codes of conduct, rates that are set, like just like how the realtors have rates, or the taxis have rates, or other associations have rates. You have some kind of order, and you have some monitoring mechanism, because the system right now, I mean, I know that this whole thing of demand and supply is the hallmark of capitalism and free economy, but it is really getting out of control for a small country. Now, let's look at what happened when you get that new hotel, Grand Hyatt and other ones opening up, and you have people coming in to work here. Where are they going to find a place to live affordable? And that's why you're having these slums developing, and people living in loads of people in one house or apartment, or living in their cars or whatever. There's just no affordable housing. So you have to find a solution. And I hear what you're saying about it's under review, but God, this has been under review for the last 25 years.
Yeah, but shouldn't you mention a particular hotel? Shouldn't that entity also be responsible in terms of the housing that is going to be provided for its non-resident or those that are coming to reside here to work? Shouldn't they be responsible too for part of that?
100%, sir. I agree with you. And places like that, if they can't prove that they have a source of Caymanian labor available, if they can't prove that they have the suitable housing for them, if they can't prove that they have transportation, or they can provide some kind of shuttle service for them, they should not be given a license to build. Let's get serious with this thing.
Yeah.
You know? And so I leave you with that. But I will listen. I always appreciate coming on your show. When I get extra time on world-class show of yours, I got to take it. So
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for accommodating us by staying on as well. Let's grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Mr. O.C., this is Craig, the poet. I remember when you told me to take my fame for writing the poem for Carpet. That was probably about a year ago now. And I've been doing, well, I know you know I've been doing most of the poetry on Talk Today.
Talk Today, yes. You're the poet laureate.
Yeah, but I need to probably try to get a little more space on your side and be a little more fair too. But I can't be here and there and give people the impression that we'll have anything to do talking.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand.
But Mr. O.C., I want to ask a question. I don't know if you might know, because I mean you're a lot older than me. You know more about the laws. When it concerns like people being able to sell property, can somebody who's mentally ill go into a transaction with someone to sell property and that sort of thing that's also here in Cayman?
Well, I would say, and I'm not a lawyer, not giving any legal advice or anything, but it would first have to be determined that the person is mentally incompetent to transact their own business. that mental incompetency would have to be determined either, I would imagine, by a court or someone who is empowered by law to make that determination.
And also when it concerns like marriage, and because I've seen a relative of mine go through something like that, and being taken advantage of. I've seen a lot of Caymanians being taken advantage of here in Cayman, and apparently I try to speak, but nothing has been done. And I'm wondering if the law doesn't go far enough to protect our people. I mean, what kind of future can we have? And it's so many people that having these sorts of problems with their mind here in Cayman. You know, and their lives are ruined. In many cases, and I would hope that I think it's something that we should fight for. Sometimes you see where people, they know they don't love a particular person, and the person has little mental problems, and either they want to get their property, they want to get married to the person, and they ruin their lives.
Now we do, I believe, we do have legislation in place that protects elderly persons. We have the Older Persons Act as well. Like I said, I'm not sure whether or not we have anything in what we do have in place in relation to persons who may suffer from some type of mental disability. And of course, you may have heard me earlier sharing the article in the Cayman Compass about the tougher laws that are being planned to fight crimes against children, again, as well. But you raise a good point, and hopefully there's someone out there in our audience who may know more about this and may be able to share that information with us. If what I'll undertake to do is to do some research to see what we have in our laws in relation to those vulnerable persons. We know that historically our legislation has not always adequately addressed the issues that the more vulnerable in our society face, and that is something that is needed. But I'll look to see if I can determine what we have in place in terms of those persons who may be mentally incapable of making sound decisions. Caller, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for that as well. With that, Ms. Susan, have about a minute to come to you. Can I come to you now? Do we have any other callers on hold? We have a few callers. We're going to go to our headline news. When we return, we're going to continue to talk with you, so don't hang that phone up. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The chairperson for the Board of Directors of the Utility Regulation and Competition Office has been reappointed. According to a recently published Government Gazette, Samuel Jackson's new term will run through June 6th, 2029. You can find the full board information at gov.ky. In international news, Iran has announced it will stop striking Israel after the country's exchanged fire for the first time since April. But a statement from the country's top military command headquarters warns that it will carry out a, quote, more severe response if Israel continues striking southern Lebanon. It comes after U.S. President Donald Trump told Iran and Israel to, quote, stop shooting and said the two countries were, quote, looking to do an immediate ceasefire. Israel carried out airstrikes in western and central Iran after Iran fired missiles at Israel. On Sunday, Trump had reportedly urged Israel not to attack Iran. And at least 32 people have died after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Mindanao Island in the southern Philippines. The quake hit at about 7:37 local time this morning, triggering tsunami alerts in the Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, and Australia. Some of those were canceled hours later. More than 100 people have been injured across several provinces. Almost 24 are missing, and 10,000 residents have been preemptively evacuated, according to authorities. Mindanao is the Philippines' second biggest island, both in size and population, and is home to around 27 million people. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Very quickly before we go to our callers, on our WhatsApp messages, person has written, said, hi, OC. The faces and names of those who abduct these children almost weekly should also be published. Not only the child's face and name. I want to thank that listener for that. Do I have other ones here? Let's go to our caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, not too bad. This is Oscar.
Hey, good to hear your voice.
Yeah, good to hear you. Couple of quick things. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Radio Cayman. 50 years, excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I also, Mr. Banks, he's not there with you in the studio any longer, but I wanted to give him a good shout out. I mean, I had a cousin, may his soul rest in peace, Eddie. He worked there for many, many years, and I know Mr. Banks fostered him very well, and I was much appreciative of that. So, but going on now on to other matters now. Well, first of all, so we have good news too with Iran and Israel ceasefire. So hopefully oil prices will start to move in the right direction over the coming weeks and months.
I think they're already, the markets are showing that since that announcement was made, the futures is starting to go down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was good news. But one thing that I wanted to mention, I mean, me personally, right, I felt that we should have probably celebrated this along with Emancipation Day as well. This was back in May, May 1st, 1972, when the Cayman Islands introduced its own national currency, the Cayman Islands dollar, 54 years ago. That was something that, we should all reflect back and, feel proud and happy about. That was, I guess, overlooked. And then, back in 1969, we stopped using the pounds and the shilling, and we adopted the Jamaican dollar, which we adopted that on September 8, 1969. And we used that until, I guess, in 1972, where we got our own currency. Yeah, so, there were just points that I wanted to make. And last but not least, congratulations to April. Really proud of her.
Yeah, caller, you still there?
Yeah. I said last but not least, I just would like to congratulate April.
Okay, and I'm sure that she, appreciates that as well. While I have you, I'm going to just pick. Oh, we have two more callers as well. But very quickly, do you have a quick view on the Vibes Cartel performance? One of our listeners has written in and said, I would hope that the Caymanian public would remember that local talent performed at the Out of the World concert as well, and said a lot of support was to ensure that they had the opportunity. Now, I know that when it comes to local talent, that you're involved in that, especially in some of the local talent that actually go overseas to participate as well. Your views on government's support for events?
I really have no objection as long as it helps pull in some tourism. And I mean, that is pretty much my view on it. If it helps pull in tourism, help people come to the island, help the dollar, circulate more on the island, all for that. I mean, one thing that I did look at, people were there talking about, the performance and, this and that, but I didn't go to the concert, but I got to understand he wasn't really lewd in a way, anything out of the way. But I mean, the very next week we had K-Mass and Badamino, and what was marching up and down on the street that I saw in the videos, because I didn't go to that either. I think that was probably far worse than what went on at the cartel show.
Point taken. Caller, thank you very much for that. This other writer has also said that several local artists performed at the concert and did very well. I say the lowest ticket sold was for $90 as well. Let's grab our next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning to you, Mr. Osi. Hope you're well, sir.
Morning. I'm fine. Thanks, and I hope the same for you.
Thank you. Thank goodness, yes. Just to say congrats to April as well. I heard the news this morning, so congratulations to her. Well deserved. I'm calling OC because a little incident yesterday, and I wanted to find out if our local banks have announced that they're no longer taking U.S. currency in Cayman.
Can you repeat that? Repeat that again?
Our local banks, have you heard whether they're taking U.S. currency anymore in Cayman?
I haven't heard that they weren't, and I would imagine that if such a policy was adopted, that each respective financial institution would announce that to their clientele.
I think that would make sense to me as well. Well, I had an incident yesterday in regards to giving some young couple some U.S. currency that I had, some food, and they called me within minutes and said that the space wouldn't. What? And I turned around and went back.
Caller, you're sort of like drifting in and out. I'm not getting the entirety of your what you're saying. Some of it is blotting out.
Sorry about that. Is it clear?
No, it's still static.
Should I Are you on the next line?
Oh, try us on a WhatsApp number, caller. Try us on that 925-3261.
Right now.
Okay, thank you. Any other caller on hold in the meantime, Miss Susan? Let's grab another caller in the meantime. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I hope you had a great weekend.
Thank you. I did, and trust the same for you.
Yeah, right, thanks. I'll start by saying, congratulations to Radio Cayman for the 50th anniversary. But my call is really, to give my 2 cents on the increase in child molestations and rape. And I think it's time that we pass laws, to curtail this so that, if possible, we don't even have one incident because of the fear and reprisals of what the penalties would be. And I would suggest that for any man and woman, because you do have women that rape as well, that for the men, that it's discovered and they're found guilty, the law should be that they are castrated. And if it's a foreign national, they should do time in addition to the castration and then deported from this country. Because we do have, something like 147 different nationalities here. So we have this diverse cultural mix and melting pot. And people coming from lots of countries, especially Eastern countries, they have totally different customs. I've been to Malaysia, I've been to Indonesia, I've been to Philippines, and let me tell you, you see girls as young as 9 years old on the streets. Parents putting them out for, sex trafficking and so on and so forth. So I think for a small country like this, we really need to start pulling up our socks, and we really need to start doing better. And we should also have a sex registered for sex offenders. And I think it's past time that is done, because as we develop, we are also increasing a lot of the pitfalls of other developed countries. And as we get more people coming here, they're bringing with them their cultures, their ethnicities, and also some of the disgusting behaviors that we are not accustomed to. So with that is my 2 cents.
Thank you very much for that, caller. Thank you very much. We have the WhatsApp caller, but we have to take the commercial break. So call on WhatsApp, just hang in there for us. We will connect with you as soon as we return from this commercial break.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, bringing you the news, the music, and those moments that matter most and more.
From the vinyl days to the digital way.
And now, it's time to celebrate you. This Thursday and Friday, we're giving away exciting prizes on air as we continue to mark 50 years strong. Tune in, listen out for your cue, and you could be walking away with something special just for being a part of our journey. Thank you, Cayman Islands, for 50 incredible years. Radio Cayman, yesterday, today, and the next 50.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to our WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome back.
Hey, good morning to you, OC. Can you hear me now?
Hearing you faintly, but hearing you. Let's see how it goes.
How about now? I took you off my...
Aha, yeah, much better.
Much better.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I had you on a speakerphone because I wanted to read something that I took a pic of. So I was telling you or asking you whether the local banks are not taking U.S. currency anymore, and you rightfully acknowledge that if something was so drastic, we certainly should know about it, certainly from the banks or certainly from government. So yesterday. And I've been hearing some rattlings from some taxi drivers that I have interactions with. But the long and short is I was at a local establishment after assisting some young people that I know with some food, some money for some food. And they called me back and said, hey, they're rejecting the 20 US. So I turned around and went back. I was getting gas and I went back to that establishment. And I said, give me the money. And I walked up to the counter and I said, why aren't you accepting U.S. currency? And they showed me a sign that they have up. It's a fast food restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And the sign goes on to say, I'm hoping, can you still hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, it says, they're valid customers, they're valid guests. Please be advised that we are unable to accept any USD notes that fall under the following conditions. Old notes, ripped or torn notes, notes that have writing on them, notes with ink stains, notes that appear to have been washed or faded. And here's the closing paragraph. Additionally, please note that the banks in the Cayman Islands do not accept USD coins. As a result, we regret to inform you that we cannot accept any of the above-mentioned forms of USD currency. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding.
So they're talking about mutilated bills, ripped or torn, and there are several jurisdictions. I'm getting an echo, Miss Susan, for some reason. There are several.
Yeah.
There are several jurisdictions that do that as well. That if you have a torn U.S. bill, they won't accept it because it appears as if the banks won't accept it. Then they refer to U.S. coins. So they won't accept U.S. coins. They won't accept U.S. bills that are torn or not in proper order. But I don't think that equates to not accepting U.S. Other U.S. bills that are in order. So that's my interpretation.
Well, OC, that would probably be what we'd like to accept, except that when I took the 20 US and looked at it, it had none of those issues. So I went to the counter and said, and why aren't you accepting this $20? And the manager came out and looked at it and said, I don't know why we're not accepting it, and asked the staff member. And I don't know what interaction they had.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very unfortunate situation. But OC, here's the issue. Are we sending that memo to our visitors? Because listen, there are people, thousands, tens of thousands of workers in the U.S. in our tourism industry. Gets $10, $5, $20 tips, or some people get paid in U.S. I have gone to the banks and withdrawn US from the ATM, and it has markings on them that the banks themselves give me. So if there's a policy surrounding this, shouldn't the banking association make this well known? And if we're not accepting, how does that coin thing work? Let's take 10 CI, for example, divided by 0.80. It's going to be $12.50 US. They tell a visitor $12.50 US, and they give them $13 US, and they don't do with coins. What are they going to do? They're going to eat they're going to, lose the 50 cents, or they're going to give them back CI coins. This becomes really a challenge, and we should be understanding from the lending institution, since we as a jurisdiction accept this currency as spendable.
But
that make it be known why that is that they're not accepting it. OC.
Yeah. Now that notice that you're talking about that was in the establishment, was that directly from their bank, or that is their interpretation of what their bank has told them?
Well, you'd have to ask them, but it was on their letterhead standing up, and there was Burger King. You want to know who it is? It was Burger King. So we need to find out, from the banking institutions, if they're not accepting coins across Cayman. I don't think that's something that should be silent and should be for each customer. It should be across the board. Our visitors should know that there's no coins that's spendable in Cayman. And find, if you want to talk about this, the face money, that's one thing. Well, then we need to tell our visitors, don't bring that here either. Because if our banks are not accepting, you got a hard-working person and they receive a $10 tip US and it has a little mark on it. If they take that to the bank and it's useless, then that's $8 CI that person doesn't have. This isn't a personal thing. This is a country thing, and we need to make sure that we're not doing things silly. I just feel like we're doing so much sometimes that it's just crazy. We just seek to make the lives of the Caymanian people cantankerous. I can't speak for the expatriates in this country. I can only speak for Caymanians. That's who I am. That's where I live. This is where I live. We just seek to make the lives of the Caymanian people frustrated on so many levels. So many levels. And it takes me going into a fast food restaurant to learn that the local banks don't accept coins anymore, or US coins, or even a bill that may have a small writing on it.
Yeah.
We need to tell our visitors that. We need to make sure the memo gets out to our visitors, and we'll see how fast those signs stay up, or how long the signs will stay up.
Okay, caller, thank you very much for that. One of our listeners has shared with us, they have written and said, I recently had an experience where one bank gave a customer a torn $50 US $50 bill. That person paid a bill with it, and when the recipient went to deposit it at two other banks, they would not accept it. The person took it back to the original bank and redeposited it without an issue. They point out also that banks have a slush fund to deal with this sort of situation. I believe at the end of the day, we're going to probably see at some point in time at least coins being phased out, of the currency as well. It becomes more and more difficult, and in some jurisdictions, you're finding that it costs more to produce the coins than they're actually valued at the end of the day. So we're likely to see that. Plus now we're seeing everything being paid using what do you call it? Contactless devices. I mean, I'm not into that. I'm still a cash carrier whenever I have money to carry. Sometimes, most of the times, my pockets are empty, but I'm a cash person as well. Any more? Okay. Let's go to our WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Ophie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Hanging in, listening to some sad news and good news, but if the banks in Cayman are not taking U.S. money anymore, what
Wait, caller. Before we go there, that has not been established. Even though I know you say if, but sometimes people will not acknowledge the if and take it as such. So we're working under the assumption that they are taking U.S. currency.
But you can't spend any more in Cayman, right? That's what the gentleman just said.
Sorry?
You can't spend in the U.S. No. You can't spend in the U.S. no more in Cayman.
No. He didn't say that.
Well, can you clarify that for me?
The caller presented a situation whereby someone was paying at an establishment using a $20 bill. There was a sign up indicating that currency, U.S. currency, the condition that it has to be in order for them to accept it. He returned, went back to the establishment, spoke to a manager there, and eventually it was accepted. It seemed to have been misinterpretation by one of the workers there. And then he also spoke about his concern about coins, U.S. coins, being accepted.
So it's no problem then when the tourists come to the Cayman Islands and
This really has nothing. We don't even know whether or not that the persons that he was talking about, whether or not they were tourists. It had no reference to tourists whatsoever. And I would venture to say that the vast amount of tourists traveling to Cayman now, especially since the majority of them come from the U.S., they're not dealing with cash in most instances, I would say.
Well, I hope not, because that would be a sad day for the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I know
No,
taxi driver receive $10, $15 tip from tourists or stuff like that, people that come to the island, and then if they get it and they can't spend it here, that would be sad, very, very, very sad for the island.
Yeah, caller, nothing like that, and we don't even want to give the impression, here on Radio Cayman or on For the Record that is what's taking place. That caller was just relaying an experience that they had in a particular instance, and we know if you go to when we went to Panama last year. Same situation with U.S. bills. If it had, if it was torn, had a little rip, they would not accept it, and the reason being that they were having difficulty with their financial institution at the end of the day with it as well. Many countries had adopted that, but when it comes to U.S. currency here in the Cayman Islands, there's nothing official in relation to it, and to my knowledge, no bank has issued any instructions in terms of not accepting U.S. currency. So let's lay that on the table and lay it to rest for now, caller.
Real quick, I want to say congratulations to Miss Cummings.
Mm-hmm.
I remember many, many years ago, I can't remember now, my memory slips me sometime, but I worked on ICCI on the Saturday afternoons, doing a little bit of country music. I did that for about 3 or 4 months back then. So I know Mrs. Cummings and her parents and everything. Remember ICCI, they only just come on in the afternoons and Saturdays and Sundays at that time, I think it was. So I want to congratulate her for her position now at Radio Cayman.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure that if she isn't hearing it, we'll play this show back to her, or if not, we will convey all of the congratulatory messages that are being offered to Miss April Cummings. Caller, thank you very much. Folks, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for an unforgettable night of dance and entertainment? Join the Cayman Islands National Dance Company for Mosaic, our 38th season, June 13th at 7 p.m. and 14th at 5 p.m. at the Harkwell Theatre. Experience a vibrant celebration of culture, creativity, and storytelling through dance. Tickets are $30 for adults, $15 for children. Get your tickets today at Radiance Dance Studio, Audiophile Group, Winner's Circle, Funky Tangs, or call 926-1826. Mosaic is proudly sponsored by the Audiophile Group, Ingenue Marketing, and ARC Directors. Don't miss it! June 13th and 14th, Harkwell Theatre.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We've been asked to wish Noreen Dixon and Miss Veronica Brown, happy birthday. They both celebrate their birthday today, the 8th of June. These greetings are coming from Miss Ruth James and family, also from Alice McFeel, Valoria Sinclair and family. Enjoy your special day and may God bless you with many more. Also, congratulations to Miss April and Radio Cayman on their 50 years anniversary and still going strong. Well, it's not Miss April's 50th anniversary, but I understand what the writer is saying. She congratulating Miss April on her promotion to Deputy Director at Radio Cayman as well. On the issue of one of the callers who called in, Mr. Mario Ebanks, in relation to rental property and rental rates. One of our listeners has written in and said Residential Tenancies Act, which repeals and replaces the Landlord and Tenancies Act 1997, was approved by Parliament in 2009, but never commenced. That act, however, does not deal with rent price control. And I want to thank that listener for sending that information to us as well. I got so many things here. This one is pretty long. I have to read this over first. Let's go to the other one. This person says, good morning. I've been a seafarer for 22 years, always paid in US dollars. which I deposited some of it in a local bank. When I go to draw out a thousand or more of my U.S. money that I put there, they charge me 10%. So I always withdraw 990 without paying the 10%. You got to be, I guess, innovative when to get around, some of these charges that some of these institutions place on the poor consumer as well. Caller, Miss Susan, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm very grateful. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Want to start out by saying first, let's go Knicks. The New York Knicks. I know that you lived in New York for a while.
Yep, I was there in 1973 on their last championship. Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, those are the names there. Dave DeBusschere.
Yes.
Bill Bradley.
And Willis Reed was the hero because he was back in the locker room nursing and
Yep.
and his team needed him, so he limped up and he won the game for them. And then it's as if history is repeating itself because the last time the Knicks went to the finals, they played the Spurs. And they were short-handed. Remember, Patrick Ewing was injured, and he didn't even get to take them to the finals. He watched from the sidelines, but they lost. So we're hoping for a different result.
Yep.
That.
Yep. Well,
So I say, let's go.
They're well on their way.
Yeah. Okay. And the other thing I'd like to say again before I get to why I called, I'd also like to wish my granddaughter Gia a happy birthday today.
Okay.
I know it's also Veronica Brown's birthday, and I want to say happy birthday to her as well. I've known Ravon, I would say pretty much all my life, I've known Veronica. So happy birthday, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, so I called because I was listening to the show, obviously, and I heard the caller speaking about the U.S. currency being refused. And I'm going to start with the coins first. There's one banking institution that I know refused to take U.S. coins. And I asked them if they had gotten approval for it. They couldn't answer me. And I said, well, anytime I come in here with my coins, because I was actually paying a bill, and you had to do it through this institution, I said, you are going to take my coins. Because if you're asking me to give you $1 in place of those coins, what are you going to give me to change with? So they took my coins, and I told them, I said, I will be speaking to Monetary Authority because I want to know if you all got authorization to refuse the coins. See, I know why they're refusing the coins. And I don't know if any other banking institution has been refusing them. But my bank that I bank with, they asked me for the coins. They said they were looking for, U.S. coins. And I had many, many of them. So they asked me to bring them in and sell them to them. So this is a decision that the bank, or the banks that are...
Individual, they make those individual decisions, yeah.
That's right. It's just like they decide what they're going to charge people to cash a check, even if it's their check. And I think these are matters that definitely need to be looked into, because if a check is drawn on your bank, who else should cash that check? You, and there should be no charge. And I don't think that if you work for me and I paid you, and I write you a check which is not drawn on the bank that you you deal with, I don't see why you should be charged $15 to cash that check. Because you could easily deposit that check to your account and then withdraw the funds. And as far as the paper notes, I think that is, again, a unilateral decision and clearly a misunderstanding now by people, because, once upon a time, establishments didn't want to take $100 bill from you because, mostly when people did counterfeit bills, they did the bigger bills. And you would see I'm checking it and doing this and doing that and so on. And then it went to the $50 bill. I didn't know it had reached the $20 bill. But
well, I think that the $20 bill is the most counterfeited U.S. bill, actually, the 20.
Okay, well, I'm talking about, way back when people actually traveled with cash or lots of cash. But when you see a mark on a note, that is some establishment that has checked that bill and they have ascertained that the bill is good. So they put that mark on it. The bank does not refuse that. And banks will also dispense to you bills that have that mark on it. So what I would say to anyone that, go to anywhere, and this is not the first time I've heard about Burger King refusing to take a $20 bill from people. I heard someone speak about that already. In fact, I heard a couple of people speak about it. But what I would say is if they actually refuse to take it from you, then take the bill to the bank. Either deposit it to your account, because if you exchange it, you're going to lose on the exchange rate, but deposit it to the bank. And as one of your callers said, somebody has to come out and speak about this so that there is a clear understanding of what is, legally, or who can legally refuse a bill and why. Because I think it's all a misunderstanding of, when a mark is on a note. Well, actually, if you get a torn note from the bank, you should refuse it. Give it back to them, ask them for a different bill. I don't take, old notes from the bank either. That's just me. I ask them to please exchange it. I don't want it. And that's, like I say, me personally. And as far as coins, the bank cannot refuse to take those US coins from you. The only way that can legally be refused is if Cayman decides they're not going to actually deal with US dollars. So stand your ground, know your rights, and take it to where you need to take it to, and ask them to come out and issue some explanation. But I think what would remedy this is for the person in charge of, I think that would be financial services. They need to look at this issue and let us put something in place. Just like the interest rates, every bank is charging you what they want to charge you, and that is based on the US interest rates. So I don't see why Bank A should be topping it up 5%, Bank B is topping it up 3%, Bank C is topping it up 10%. I think it should be the same. They're all operating in the Cayman Islands. They are Cayman Island entities, and therefore they should be abiding by the laws of Cayman Islands. We are not a banana republic. As far as I know, we are still a democratic country, so everything should fall in place accordingly. It shouldn't be that, we're operating like we run some black market and then start to appear to be very suspicious. Since people are concerned about the visitors, I am also concerned about our residents and our Caymanian people because it affects them also.
Certainly.
Not everyone might have a US dollar account. Like someone spoke about the taxi drivers. They may not have US dollar accounts. So most of them would get paid in US dollars, or if they get a tip, more than likely it's going to be in US dollars. So if they can't use it anywhere, what are they supposed to do? Refuse the tip? That's not fair, and that's not right to them either.
Caller, want to thank you. Thank you very much for that. Sorry I have to interrupt there, but we have to go to a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorothy Drive, Industrial Park.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Did you know there are over 100 Adventist-owned businesses right here in the Cayman Islands? Adventist entrepreneurs are making a powerful impact across Cayman. Join us on Sunday, June 28th at 2 p.m. at the Lion Center, Grand Cayman for the ASI Cayman Business and Career Expo. Explore products and services, enjoy exclusive discounts, free samples, giveaways, and exciting prizes. Need a wellness check? Enjoy free health screenings and relaxing massage therapy. Thinking about your future career? Young people, students, and job seekers, whether you're looking to grow your business, plan your future, network with professionals, or simply enjoy a great community event, this is the place to be. Admission is absolutely free. The ASI Cayman Business and Career Expo. Showcase, connect, succeed. Sunday, June 28th, 2 p.m. at the Lion Center. For more information, visit asicayman.interamerica.org.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 12 minutes left to go in the show. If you haven't already called, I'm going to ask you to hold off for a second because I'm going to share something with you from the United States Federal Reserve. But one of our listeners wrote and said, U.S. stores will not accept torn or old bills. So if the Cayman banks give you those, please let them change it before you leave their establishment or you will lose. And it is the same with our own Cayman paper currency as well. So here, this is coming from the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System in the United States. The question, what frequently asked question, what should I do if I have damaged or mutilated currency? And now I'm going to share this with you, bearing in mind that we do not have a U.S. Federal Reserve Bank here in the Cayman Islands. It says that individuals, financial institutions, and businesses may contact the Department of Treasury's Bureau of Engraving and Printing if they are in possession of mutilated U.S. currency, meaning that the currency has been damaged to the extent that 1/2 or less of the original note remains, or its condition is such that its value is questionable. It goes on to say that the Bureau of Engraving and Printing Mutilated Currency Division provides free mutilated currency redemption services, to the public. Consumers should not send any currency directly to the Federal Reserve, including mutilated currency. And then it goes on to tell you, for details on what is considered mutilated currency and how to submit a request for a mutilated currency examination. You can visit the Bureau of Engraving and Printing's website. It goes on to say that not all damage to Federal Reserve notes requires for it to be sent to the Bureau of Engraving and Printing for possible redemption. For example, dirty or worn currency may be exchanged at a commercial financial institution. And of course, if you want more information on mutilated coins, visit the U.S. Mint's website. So I believe what, and this is my interpretation of it, is that if you take what is considered to be mutilated U.S. currency to a commercial institution here in Cayman, then they have to go through the process of redemption if they accept it from you. And if they don't pass it on to another customer, at the end of the day, they have to go through the process of redemption. I am sure that redemption process is not free. So any financial institution, unless they can pass the cost on to you, most likely they don't want to have to absorb that cost themselves. Hence their refusal to accept mutilated currency. That then trickles down to the retail institutions here, because if the retail institutions, if their mutilated currency isn't accepted by the bank, then they are left in a situation where they have to find some way of redeeming it as well. So, like one of our listeners and writers said, when you are being given torn or mutilated U.S. currency or even Cayman currency, don't accept it, because you are going to be stuck with it or end up, at the loss end of it at the end of the day. So that's it. Never thought that caller this morning, starting that conversation, that we would end up where we're at, but we are there. And as a result, I believe we do have some clarity on that as well. Let me check our WhatsApp messages to make sure that I have covered all that our listeners has sent in to us this morning. Here, Ms. Susan, somebody wants you to play a song after the talk show to refresh the old folks of yesterday and to the young folks that do not know about the old times on the BRAC. The BRAC. They want music about the BRAC, Miss Susan, this morning. Yep, definitely going to check it out. Now, there was one that I was looking at that I thought was fairly long, and I was trying to find that to see if I could share as well. This person has written and said, please note that the CI dollar is the legal tender in the Cayman Islands, not U.S., so the bank can reject mutilated bills. And then they go on to say, also, no banks here accept U.S. coins. Of course, we're getting, various authorities on this, but we did hear another caller point out also that when she went to her bank, she told them that they had to accept it, and they did, accept her coin as well. So I guess it varies from person to person and institution to institution. Trying to go over all the WhatsApp messages. So this, here's another one. Person wrote in and said the Landlord/Tenancy Act is not live as yet, still being revised. In fact, it has been under review for a number of years now. Not sure when it will be live and enforceable. I believe that some mention was made in relation to that particular act and the amendments, and was it the Law Review Commission that may have been looking into it as well. This person wrote and said, good morning, I've noticed there are still a lot of motorized bikes on the road that don't seem to meet legal requirements. Why isn't law enforcement monitoring this more closely or issuing citations to ensure compliance with our laws? Then they go on to say that also OC, across the islands, people opened their May light bills and got a real shock. The increase was steep. And if May looks like this, June won't be any easier. Families are already stretched, and electricity is a basic necessity, not a luxury. That's why government needs to extend the electricity rebate up to 2,000 kilowatts for every household. Most families go over the current threshold just by normal everyday usage. Extending the cap would give the real relief at a time when people genuinely need it. This isn't politics, it's fairness. And I want to say kudos to that writer as well. What I find, though, amazing was that I was, the other day, made remarks to someone that it would appear that those mobility vehicles, those motorized bikes and stuff like that, that you're seeing less on the roads than before once the law came into effect. And, based on my observation, I don't see, as many. Now, whether or not those that are out there are licensed or not is a different story. But I must say that it appears to me, as if there are not as many as were originally on the roads. Also to say that people are actually noticing the decrease in the price of gas at the pump as well. So again, the initiative taken by the government, that is showing some results also. But again, what I would say to you is, you want to see results? Cut down on the speed that you're driving, especially if you have a tendency to drive 5 or 10 miles per hour over the speed limit to begin with. You will see a difference in your bill as well. And we need to wait and see what happens in the hotter months as well, as far as those electricity bills are concerned. Didn't get an opportunity to talk about the water rates and the reason in the article in the Compass, given the reason for the increase as well. Didn't get a chance to share that with you. Still trying to find one of the articles, one of the messages that one of our listeners sent to me that I sort of needed to go, would this be it? Yes. Yeah. Person says, good morning. I agree with the previous caller regarding persons who are coming to Cayman to work. Those persons should have a paying job and somewhere decent to live. I guess they're coming, they have a paying, well, not necessarily have a paying job. Some of them have fallen victim to job scams as well, unfortunately. Not for the persons to be living in shacks or in cars. They go on to say, I think Cayman government should establish a new postal code, a new post as code enforcement officers. These would be enforcement officers for land-based duties. They will check those addresses given on work permit applications. They will also check residential buildings to see that they are not shacks patched up with some pieces of cardboard, zinc, scraped wood, all of these pieces patched up on one side of the place of living. Land-based code enforcement officer should also have the right to ticket landowners who have tons of garbage and old cars, etc. Too many property owners have rented rooms or rented shacks, yet they allow so much garbage to be thrown down or around the properties. Landlords are collecting lots of dollars, therefore they should be held responsible to keep their properties clean as well. And I want to thank that writer for that. I believe, folks, that I have covered all of them except this last one, and this one has to do with the song again also, Miss Susan. It says, could you please ask Miss Susan to play the song from Andy Martin, Going Back to the Brack again. With that, I'm going back to Lower Valley in a few minutes as well. I want to thank all of you who participated this morning, those of you who called in, those of you who sent messages as well, those of you who wished Miss April Cummings, congratulated her and wished her well on her behalf. I thank you for that, and I will certainly pass on those comments to her, or maybe we will make it required that she has to watch a replay of For the Record as well, so that she can hear all of the good comments made about her as well. So again, folks, thank you all very much. Don't forget, continue to support your radio station, the People's Radio Station, Radio Cayman. Join Mr. Charles Glidden Shallow at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands. Looking forward to having Dr. Steve McFeel in the studio with us on Wednesday, working on that as well. We'll let you know first thing on Wednesday morning what's happening, or Miss Susan will post something, before that, letting you know who will be in the studio. Folks, have a great day, and God bless.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to yard. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bright.